Hey, wife.
Hello.
You want to have some Latvian drinks?
Yes.
Let's continue on with an interesting drink, which is very common here. I'm not going to necessarily call it Latvian, but it's definitely prevalent here. Everybody knows it.
Kvass. Am I reading it right?
Kvass, yes.
Kvass.
Yeah.
I don't get more.
I think the reason why we don't get more is that they don't make the sugar-free versions. So this is like a wheat-based kind of non-alcoholic beer, but sweeter. There's obviously a slightly different formula and stuff. But traditional versions of kvass are just sweeter versions of beer, so to speak. Although it doesn't have hops, I think.
You say non-alcoholic, but this one has 0.5%.
It's part of the fermentation process. So they can process it again for not to have alcohol, but it's like a traditional, right? Like you had a bunch of wheat, you put it in a jar with sugar, and I think you just let it ferment. There's probably something more to it,
Yeah.
but that's kind of it. It's a nice-ish, sweetish kind of soft drink, but it has some traditional roots.
Yeah. I guess compared to beer, basically sweeter. It has malty flavor.
Just for our healthy adults that are slowly gaining weight regardless of us being healthy, we would typically prefer to avoid sugary drinks.
Compared to cider, I still like cider.
What I wanted to do is to get some Latvian cider. But Latvian cider is not very good. And most of the cider that I found that is less Latvian is actually not made in Latvia. There was a thing that we used to drink in school called Alcopops. It's kind of very sugary alcoholic drinks. They're absolutely terrible, and I don't want to do that to you. So there's a way to combine several different versions of this, right? We also tried Black Balsam, a Latvian kind of traditional herby alcohol. So
But
this is
in ice cream flavor.
this is a mixture of this, right?
Okay.
It's like a carbonated alcoholic drink with Black Balsam blackcurrant version.
Okay.
So you're gonna try some of that, which is hopefully a nice combination between Alcopop, cider, and Black Balsam. This was alcohol, a fair bit, so small sips, please.
12%.
Yeah.
You have to maintain eye contact as I
At
drink.
all times. At all times. These are the rules.
You know what it tastes like? When you're young
I remember. I still remember.
and you get sick and you have a fever, and then they make you drink the syrup.
It does feel like a very, very thick cough syrup, very, very sweet or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
It's kind of the worst of both worlds because the Alcopops, they're just kind of fizzier and nicer, and Black Balsam is just much thicker flavor. So this is kind of like sugary, barely carbonated mixture that's supposed to make you healthy, but doesn't really.
My mind jumps into like balsamic. Is it kind of similar? Vinegar.
Okay. It just has a different meaning in Latvian and Russian languages. So balsam is not balsamic vinegar, right? Just a concentrate,
Does it mean anything?
a mixture.
That's what it means, mixture.
I don't know if exactly means mixture. I'm telling you what the meaning I feel that it has.
Oh, you're saying the word balsam is a mixture of
Well,
something,
balsams.
but not that.
No,
means
it's a.
mixture. That is.
It's not a name of a specific drink.
You know what? When I like the balsam
Mhm.
is when your dad gave ice cream. That was actually.
I think you just like sweet things. You're gonna say to me that this is not really a Latvian product, right? Because beer is. I don't know where beer comes from, but Latvia has some very good beers, and I've learned that while traveling, trying different beers in different countries.
Yeah.
Latvia has a very good beer tradition for such a small country. So this is one of many varieties. Obviously, it's impossible to judge what is what, right? But it's a good one. Please give it a try. And I know as a big San Miguelite drinker or Red Horse drinker, you might enjoy it. Oh, second try. Okay.
No, it shouldn't really reach my taste buds.
Okay.
No, but yeah, it's pretty good. Again, with beers, right?
Mhm.
Like I feel like having them anywhere else, especially in Europe. That's when I understood, like, oh, that's what beer is supposed to taste like. Because in Philippines, as you can compare, or even in Latin America, I don't find beers are tasty. I guess the best is still, I would think, though, German beer. But this is quite close
Okay.
to me.
Well, countries like Germany and Czech Republic that have great culture. It's very much a subjective matter of taste, right? What you like the most. If you come from this tradition of beers, then it's kind of hard to enjoy anything else. It almost transcends what the beer tastes like some kind of like milky taste to it.
Oh,
Nice.
It's, it's
You can imagine a Corona or right, or just whatever beers in your country. This is like creamier, foamier, just nicer. Really hard to describe. Matter of taste.
Yeah.
But coming back to Latvia, yeah, beers here are pretty nice. Not all of them, of course.
Yeah.
I think Germany has a higher average level,
Yeah.
but it's wonderful
I feel like I prefer this the class.
because it's 5% instead of 0.5%, right? One more thing to say about beers after beer traveling is that it's like one of the great unifiers of the world. Basically, every country it makes its own beer. Basically, every ever been to, from Cuba to Philippines and Japan, basically every Latin American country, right? Obviously all of Europe, obviously North America with the US and Canada, everybody's got their own beers. This is like one of the interesting world unifiers. Whatever the differences are, we kind of all like beer.
We're just talking about beer, or is it alcohol that unifies the world?
Alcohol is definitely a thing, but specifically beer, right?
Okay.
Because there's loads of different types of alcohol. So this is a Latvian cider. For some reason, Latvia does not make very good ciders. Although there's plenty of apples in Latvia, maybe they're not the right apples, or maybe just the culture is not quite there, but
Yeah.
most of the ciders made here are some weird, like, I don't know, red berry something cider.
Cedars.
Ciders.
It has like an aftertaste. The strawberry. It has the cough syrup.
As well? Okay.
Good to
This
know.
one's not bad, but there's something to it. Yeah, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Latvia is full of land where you can grow apples and pears and whatever,
Yeah.
but for some reason, like the ciders from here are like over sweetened. They don't quite really kind of hit the same taste buds.
When we were living in UK,
Oh,
I definitely
great
think
ciders.
the
They
ciders are really good.
they're not afraid to go sour, which I think is important because if it's just too sweet, then
Yeah.
it's just like a alcopop, right? Like a fizzy alcoholic drink. It really needs to have its own strong flavor, whether it's sour, whether it's whatever, right? I think the problem is that it's too sugary and it doesn't have its own distinct
Yeah.
kind of cider flavor. Cider kind of almost has to be a little bit sour, right? Because it's kind of baked into the concept. But here they oversweeten it and use some very weird and unusual ingredients, which is, it's fine, it's nice,
Yeah.
but it loses what cider should taste like. I mean,
Yeah.
we're still gonna drink this because
Yeah.
it's not bad,
Yeah.
but it doesn't entice me to buy this all the time. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to buy a bottle of Black Balsam, and we tried one of these things before. This is a lower alcohol version of the stuff I tried before. It's like a fizzy alcoholic drink with Black Balsam. Black Balsam is a traditional Latvian drink. You know how you said that you have a little cough syrup aftertaste from the cider?
Yeah.
The cider. It's like 10 times more from the balsam.
Let me try first, and
Yeah.
I have a suspicion why that's the case.
Because it is medicine.
No, actually, it's better. That one.
Because, yeah, lighter.
Do you think the cough syrup aftertaste is because of the flavor of cherry rather than the balsam?
It's interesting. I haven't had cough syrup in a long time, right? I just remember that it's because the main ingredient is syrup to maybe to overpower the flavor, and it's
Yeah.
very sugary syrup,
Okay.
and so it's too much. It's too thick, right? And that kind of stays with you because maybe it needs to coat the
Yeah.
disgusting bit of the medicine that is bitter or whatever. I don't know if maybe the black balsam, the actual concentrated bottle, is very, very syrupy as well. Maybe it's that. Yeah, okay, this is decent. No, I've never tried it before.
The other one that we tried was actually the real.
So
cough
what's the
syrup.
point in trying this if you already have this? Okay, vastly superior, less sugar. Okay, I mean Latvian alcohol is decent. Most people, when I grew up, when I was growing up, were drinking harder alcohols. The brandies, not the whiskeys, the vodkas, all this kind of stuff. but I don't see that as much anymore. And I think a lot of people move towards softer drinks, softer alcohol, which is not bad. I mean, this is actually quite decent. We tried a 12% version. This is a 5% version.
Yeah.
12% is much heavier and has its aftertaste. This just feels like a nice fizzy.
Yeah.
Probably slightly tastier than the cider.
Yeah.
Okay, one last
Distinguish
taste.
I'm trying to distinguish
Disgusting.
which part of balsam flavor is in the taste. Because I feel
If this
the
video
cherry.
gets 5 likes, we'll drink some Latvian black balsam.
Okay.